All right, this is going to be the first video for the test review number 1. I'm going to try to keep the video to around 8 to 10 minutes, so whatever amount of problems I get through in that time, that's where I'm going to stop the video, and then I'll pick back up. So for this test review and for the work I'm going to do, I'm honestly not going to explain too much because this is review. However, you are going to see the steps that I would do to solve the problem. So question number 1, find the domain and the zeros. So problem part A, domain. I'm looking for my possible x values. That's going to be -1, 5, 6, and 7. Yes, I put them in numeric order. And then my 0 here, or zeros plural, it's where the function is equal to 0. So that's right here at -1. So I'm going to say x equals -1. And question number 1, part A, is done. Let's see, part B, same question. I need a domain. So let's see, domain, I'm going to purposely set the denominator equal to 0. So that means x equals, whoops, that's going to be a +1. So domain is going to be everything from -infinity to 1 and then 1 to infinity. That value of 1 is what makes that denominator undefined. Can't have that. Let's do 0 this time. So my zeros, or 0, singular, is where the function is equal to, whoops, make the equal sign. All right, where the function is equal to 0. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and multiply by x minus 1, multiply by x minus 1. 0 is equal to x plus 2. So my 0 is going to be x equals -2. That equal sign looks terribly close to the negative. All right, so domain here and my zeros. Moving on down to part C. Let's see, grab a pen again. Part C for the domain, I need the function, this expression, to be greater than or equal to 0. That means it's not negative, which means x is greater than or equal to 3. So for my domain, I'll put this off to the side here. We're going to start with 3 to infinity. That's going to be the domain. And then for the zeros, or 0 singular, we're going to take the function, set it equal to 0. I'm going to square both sides, which means 0 is equal to x minus 3, which means x is equal to 3. There's my 0 for question part C. So question number 1 asks to find the domain and zeros for all the bits, parts, and pieces. So we've got A, B, C, done. All right, question number 2 simply says to simplify. So I'm going to divide this term by the denominator, and I'm going to divide this term by the denominator. So let's see what I got here. 3 over 3 is 1. I'm not going to bother writing it. M to the 5th over M is M to the 4th. No more Y's. Plus 12 divided by 3 is 4. No more M's. And that's going to be Y to the 5th, using a little quotient rule to subtract the exponents. So divide it out and done. All right, part B, simplify. Okay, starting up at the top, I need to cube that entire thing. So 3 cubed is 27. X to the -2 cubed is going to be x to the -6, and that's going to be y cubed. All over 9x to the 4th, y to the -2. Whew, okay, so let's start simplifying this. 27 over 9 is going to be 3. And then if I do a little quotient rule, I'm going to take the x exponent and subtract the other x exponent. That's in the denominator. So x, -6 minus 4 is -10. Do the same thing for the y's. Just be super careful with the negative down there. So 3 minus -2 is going to be 5. But not a huge fan of the fact that I've got a -10 for my x exponent. So I'll separate that. So we're going to keep the things with positive exponents on the top, and the x to the 10th, make it positive in the denominator. So 3y to the 5th over x to the 10th. And then question number 3 asks you to simplify 4x minus 1 squared. So that's going to be 4x minus 1 times another 4x minus 1. Distribute, so 16x squared, distribute again, minus 4x. Start a new distributive here, so negative 4x, and negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. The two terms in the middle are like terms, so we're going to do 16x squared minus 8x plus 1, and that's the final answer for question number 3. That just asks you to simplify, so we did. Number 4 also asks you to simplify, however you're dealing with fractions here. So I need a common denominator for, let's say, 2 and 4. That's going to be 4. This denominator has x squared, so I need an x squared. And then this denominator has y, so I need y. So altogether, I need 4x squared y. So to get from 2x squared to 4x squared y, that means I had to multiply by 2y. Do that top and bottom. To get from 4y to 4x squared y, got to multiply by x squared. Okay, so numerator-wise, multiplying what I can, I've got 6ay, and then 5px squared. And the last thing you do is just simply write this as a single fraction. So 6ay minus 5px squared, and that's going to all be over 4x squared y. That is the final answer to number 4 in simplified form. All right. Let's see what's next. Let's see. Question number 5 is evaluating a function. I gave you g of x. I want you to find g of negative 2. So g of negative 2. Everywhere I have an x, I'm going to replace it with a negative 2. So let's see. Negative 2 squared is going to be 4. A minus negative 2 is going to be plus 2 plus 2. So let's see, 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 makes, I like 8 for that answer. So g of negative 2 is equal to 8. All right, question number 5 is done. Number 6, all right, we've got a composite function here. We're going to take 2, put it in the f function. So here's my f function. I'm going to get that answer. And then once I know that answer, I'm going to put in the g function. Hey, look, there's the g function. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to find f of 2. So 2 plus 3, well, that's going to be 5. So that means it's going to be finding g of 5. Well, g of 5, let's see, equals 5 squared minus 6 times 5. Well, 5 squared is going to be 25. 6 times 5 is 30. So 25 minus 30 would be negative 5. So all together, right, final answer here, g of f of 2 equals negative 5. All right, this video has hit right around 8 minutes at this point. I've gotten the first 6 questions here done. So I'm going to go ahead and put a pause here on this one. I'll pick back up another video starting with number 7, and I'll keep going until I've got the rest of this test review done. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, please let me know.